And our next speaker is from Poland, Bartosz Górka. He's going to tell you a little bit about tracking your Elixir applications using telemetry and metrics. And a short intro into who Bartosz is. Bartosz is a software engineer. Hello, Bartosz. Looking for challenging problems to solve. His mission is to help people build their businesses based on well-built software. He is the author of a blog where he publishes information related to the world of Elixir, productivity, and team management. Personally, I can see that you're posting a lot. So great stuff. I can see that you're a very productive guy. I can see that it's like a 3 to 4 posts every month, which is very rare. So thank you for sharing the knowledge with the whole community. I could see that you are also a fan of domain-driven design. All right. I'll post a link to Bartosz' website. So if you're interested in the blog, you'll be able to click on it. It's going to be on the top in the call to action section, where right now there is a Paraxial website link. So you'll be able to see more about what Bartosz is writing about on his blog. All right.
Okay. So hello, and from my side, mostly I'm super excited to be here and be able to present some Elixir topic, and I believe you can also find a lot of inspiration on this blog. And also from my side, a quick action. Can we just change a presentation, because I can't.
Sure.
Thank you.
Sure. So it's tracking with telemetry, right?
Yes, exactly.
I can see 2 presentations, so I'm just wondering.
You can use a PDF file.
This one?
Exactly.
Great.
Okay, so welcome. And from my side, for today, I will try to present more info regarding the telemetry in the Elixir application. So let's start from let's say a short introduction. So as I already described, I'm mostly a software engineer, sometimes also trying to help clients with the teams, but I love this part of the coding. So for me, it's mostly this part of the business is most important, and also I trying to help clients to build a business with the good software. Sometimes it's really complicated because it's also required to have some refactor first, but at the end we mostly have some really good software. And also, as I already said, you can check my blog and find some extra information regarding the Elixir and also this project management. And for today, I prepare a new article regarding JSON Web Tokens and the security of this part. So also I will try to introduce more security topics, because as you probably know, the security is one of the important in this year. And okay, so regarding the monitoring, it's normally, and to be honest, it's totally it's almost always my project when I started was without the metrics, and also it was a bit unclear to the business why the metrics are really important. So sometimes I need to verify the project and first focus on the metric, because exactly how without the metrics we can change a system. Normally it's complicated, because how to just be sure that our change is okay. We do not prepare a new bug instead of just resolve one, and maybe a bug tracker or just having a test are okay to eliminate this problem. But sometimes when you have ability to prepare to prepare A and B tests and verify your ideas, it's super to be transparent and have some good reference to compare your results instead of just focus on your own opinion or just guessing. Is it okay for the users to I don't know, maybe move some buttons, maybe change a style of the text or something similar? So without the metrics, sometimes it's really complicated to be transparent with the whole team and with the company. So from my side is a question. So do you have metrics in your project? Feel free to use a chat, and we will just spend a 1 minute on this topic, and I will just disconnect my video connection because I think it's a issue. So let's use off. Okay, so not in the current project. Yes, it's totally normal, to be honest. Mostly, exactly. Or also as an external like Grafana, exactly. Fantastic. So from my side is also the second question, because sometimes you have some metrics, but do you analyze your metrics to make a change based on them? Because we just track a lot of data, but sometimes we don't have a time to focus on it. So from our side, on the development side, it's really important to notify our management to have some extra time to focus on metrics, verify it, and also prepare improvement, because sometimes also on the metrics you can see some bottleneck or just a issue in the system, and at the end all issues can be just transferred as a money. So for the business, this part, I mean, this extra cash can be really important. So exactly. So we have a lot of data, and we need a data to prepare a better system, because without a data, without any action in your system, you can have an amazing, from the technical point of view, system, but without a user, without a problems, it's a bit sad, sorry, because you don't have ability to prepare a change or just prepare any improvement. Okay, so let's focus first on the advantages of this value tracker project. And as already mentioned, we have ability to be transparent, and also mostly of the our services should guarantee and improve some service level, and we have some service level agreements between our companies. So it's also required to be sure, is it okay for us to have a maybe not a 100% of this availability, for example, but maybe have this as a 2 nines or something. So after the whole after the long time, you can just compare your ideas and your expected level with the real level, and probably you will see that sometimes it's really complicated to be to have this 100% of the availability. And also, when we have a attract project, we can skip, maybe not the eliminate the totally eliminate, but we can just limit the manual log analyze, because the logs are really helpful when you have debug some problems, or just want to I don't know, maybe verify clients action, because sometimes clients do some strange action and next want to just undo it. It's not easy to prepare, and you can just verify it in the logs. But with the metrics, you can avoid this part as your normal part of the work and only focus when you have some extra issues. And also bottlenecks and an ability to improve it without any request from your QA team or just from the client side, because the most complicated will be when the client will notify you as a company, hey, we have a problem because your panel is too slow and I want to reject this contract, and sorry, please just back to me my cash, sorry. So the monitoring is a really easy way to react quickly on any change of the system, and also we can just verify what we have in the system instead of just checking what our users want to prepare. And maybe it's a bit unclear, but normally we don't think about the metrics as a ability to, or just a way to reduce a cost. But let's imagine you have some extra database and you spend 1,000 euros per month to have this one database, but you just consume only 10%. Even in during this peak, you have only 10%. So maybe instead of just spending this money, you can just a bit limit this amount, of just eliminate a part of the cost, and for example have 100 euros per month for extra books, conference, or even for your teams as some extra salary. So sometimes it's also a way to reduce spending. And also with the metrics, for example, with the Grafana, you can see what is a peak. I mean, this hour with the peaks, and avoid, for example, releases when you have a lot of users, and avoid these problems when you want to have a new release. And from my side, I would like to put more focus on this monitoring part, and to just clarify it, that the monitoring is not only the collecting values data, but the monitoring mostly are the business opportunities. So we can, with this data, with this knowledge, we can prepare something better, something the matter, and build new functionality based on already prepared, and also have ability to, for example, prepare improvements in some specific cases before we will start. And also this business opportunities can be, for example, a big conference or just a new marketing campaign. And when you know that your application is ready to be scaled 10 times or even more, you know that this marketing campaign can be a good solution for you, and you will spend money on this, and your user will not be angry on you after this campaign, and you will not have a lot of 500 errors from your server, that because you have some issue. And for today, after this short, I believe this short introduction, we have a telemetry. And the telemetry is a really simple library. You can check this code on the GitHub, but it's really simple to provide a standardized interface to capture and monitoring your events in the Elixir world. And the idea behind the telemetry is that everything that happened in the system can be presented as an event. Everything. So maybe I will just check the next slide. For example, when you have some database query with the Ecto, or just your application receive a request, or even your application need to connect with another application, and you have some extra service provider, it can be presented as an event. Also, action executed by the cron scheduler or just your gen servers can be as a new event. So you can easily track this this part and also verify, for example, a status of the responses from the external service, and also verify a agreement between companies. So when you have this knowledge regarding the events, it can be a problem how to build a one place or just one module or something similar to collect this data and process this information from a lot of places. For example, you have this Phoenix framework, and you have one type of the events. Also, you have some database. You have a Redis. You have maybe a Elasticsearch, and you want to track all databases or just all part of the system. And without this standard, it can be very complicated for your company to build even one big module to collect this data. And when you decide to add new event, probably you should also modify this module. So probably it will be not super effective, and you will have some errors because, for example, you will just skip some unknown events instead of just tracking it. So in this with this problem, it can be resolved by the telemetry exactly. And the telemetry mostly is really simple to use to have some interface. And exactly, this interface is really important here, because the telemetry itself is not for the sending, it's not for the collecting the data. It's only, I mean, this telemetry library is only for the build a proper structure in the code, and also to store this data, but store inside the application, not outside. So without this published to the Grafana or just similar services. And to introduce the telemetry, it's really simple. It's only necessary to add one dependency, and with this dependency, as you can see, you will have a new telemetry. And after this new, we can just prepare our own events. So maybe let's say. Okay, so for example, we have an idea to collect how many requests to the external service, and with the correct response, let's say a status 200. So to prepare it, you can just have a really simple action, and this is a telemetry execute. So you will have a extra code, and we have some variables here, some request duration to have a time of the execution. I mean this total duration of the request, and also the status code. And the whole code, it can be a bit unclear when you have this first time, but let's focus more on this. So we have this a bit unclear, but it should be totally clear. You have some name, and this name can be a list of the atoms, or just can be a one string with the dot as a separator. And also you have a measurement. This is a map of the information to track. So when you decide to use metrics, for example, we'll just focus on the counting the status. We can use exactly the status field from this field, and also we have some metadata you can just use as some tags. For example, when you want to have some graph depends on the service ID or the similar field, you can just put into the metadata, and next you will able to use it as some tag. And it was a bit complicated for me when I started with the telemetry, that you have a one dependency for the telemetry, and maybe you will wanted to just have this already done, and it can be a really similar flow as we have in the Ecto. Ecto, when they start to build it, it was a one big dependency, but after all, now we have a separated, because not always you wanted you want to have some SQL code or just database, so you can just check what is a missing, what is a required part from the Ecto. For example, use only ID generator, or just use the whole Ecto. So here we have a similar separation, and this reporter is required to have this events out of our system, and for example transfer it to the Datadog. And in your mind, you can just think about this reporter as some event handler or just gen server, which will receive a event, and next should do something, and this something can be transferred to the some external service. It can be also grouped by this tag, and next publish, or just ignore some events because it's maybe not required in your context. Okay, so we have ability to register our own reporters via two functions. The first is mostly as a attach, so you have one event name. The rest is the same, so you have some callback function to execute when you go to this event, and also you have some handler config, for example, some configuration for this reporter. And you have also this attach menu function to have a list of events instead of just one event. And here is totally required to have this as light as possible. So your reporter should be execute very short. I mean, this time should be limited, because you will execute this event almost you will execute this reporter almost every time when you have a new event. So when you have a big project, it can be a bottleneck in the reporters. So it's also required. And technically, the telemetry with this reporter will store your events in the ETS table to have a reference to the event by the name, and also you have a handler for each event. And it was also my mistake to build first reporter. I use only this attach menu, but after the whole, when you have even one error with your events, with the attach menu, you will be unsubscribed for all already subscribed events. So, for example, when you have 10 events with the one error from the one event, I mean this one event type, you will have a error. So the telemetry will remove completely your reporter. So the better option is to use, even in the loop, use attach. So this problem can be resolved, and from this 10 events, you will have ability to collect 9 events, and also ability to subscribe again after some bug fixes for this one specific event. Okay, so after this long long introduction, we have first maybe this mainly our Elixir code. So this telemetry attach is really simple to introduce. As you can see, we have some function start. Let's say it's a application start function, and we can just attach our handler. This handler should have some unique handler ID to have this reference in the ETS table. And also we have this this request. So we have this exactly this request to handle, and we have some our metrics module to execute the handling action. So handle event, collect this data and transfer it. So we don't have any action, so it will be technically okay. So it should be okay in our code, but maybe build it from the scratch each time is not super exciting, and probably you can just eliminate this problem with the or just eliminate this part of the project and use some extra already prepared reporters. But now we need to focus on our metrics, because now we just have ability to generate events, also to send it manually. I mean, to send it from our application to the any external service, but it still be only a one-to-one sending. So you have one event in your system, and you should have one event outside. So it can be similar to the logs. So nothing helpful in your daily work. And to have this extra ability to focus on your project, you can just prepare some metrics. And as we have at the beginning, the metrics are just time aggregated events which can indicate the variability of the system over the time. So you have a change of your system, and see, for example, at the 11th you had 10 users, but after the 2 hours you have 100 users. So you have some improvements here. And from the metrics, it should be easy as the name. So you have a metrics, and you should be able to use a 5 type of the metrics. You have a sum counter, you have a sum. A counter is mostly increment by 1. So you just will prepare a number of the events. You have a sum, so you can just collect a total number. And also you have a last value. This is probably one of the most used. So you have a last reported value, and you will replace already stored. And also you have some summary and distribution. This last is depend on the reporters. Sometimes it's ignore. So the summary is mostly the better. And as summary you have some percentage. Also you have some minimum, maximum, and mean value. So it should be okay for the system to prepare some graphs. Okay, so again, we can just prepare this metrics by our own module. And with this telemetry metrics dependency, we can just prepare a summary for our external service request. So as you see, we have this execution. Our event from this event name will be our my app external service request, and we will use a field duration to prepare a value, specific value, and we want to use a tags to have this only to have it depends on the status. So for example, on the 200 status we will have a one graph. For the 500 we will have a separated, and we can just see what is a problem. For example, we have sometimes a blocked from the external service because we have a rate limiting, as was during the first presentation, because sometimes we just use it and need to verify. And I started the telemetry, and it was an idea that the whole system can be present as an event, but you can just have a question how to just present a Beam or just Erlang machine as an event, because this as a normal server it will be not a new event. Okay, so on the CPU you have a 10% only, but our memory is almost the full consume. However, the telemetry again prepares some extra dependency. This is a telemetry puller, so you can just use it to check your machine, and this periodically. Also, you can just modify the settings and set your own time for this, and collect the data from the machine. And with this, you can avoid some extra agents on your servers and extra setup, because all will be in the Elixir. So it should be easy for your team to manage this dependency. And for example, you can receive some events like a memory or just a total run queue length from your system. And also you have ability to prepare your own based on the Erlang function. Okay, so now we have already an idea how to generate the event. Next, how to it's technically transferred to the external service via the reporter, and also how to use a metrics to prepare some value instead of just checking each event by hand. So I decided to use this AppSignal metrics provider because we have AppSignal normally in projects. So I wanted to introduce also this part and have the whole data in the AppSignal to have a better, not only the performance tracker from the AppSignal dependency, but also have some metrics on it. But of course you can use a Grafana or Datadog, and it should be pretty similar, because it's only a technically the part how to transfer it and when to transfer it. And also you can just transfer one event to many places, many services. And for this AppSignal, it's also pretty simple to introduce. You have some new child for your supervisor tree, and you have some metrics to define what exactly you want to store. And for my side, it was last value of the total memory used by the server to have ability to increase this value when our server are mostly already consumed by the application. And also we have this counter with our request, so we will just collect data how many requests to the external service we already generate. And also we have some summary from the Phoenix endpoint to have some knowledge regarding our API part. And this list can be improved. You can just add some extra events. It's really simple, because you have 5 types of the metrics, and you can prepare some amazing graph based on it. And the telemetry is already implemented in the most important dependency in the Elixir world, the most known. For example, you can use this for the plug in the Phoenix framework. Also, you have a lot of tracking via the Phoenix logger for the socket and channels. It can be really important when you have a lot of channels in your application. And also you have a Ecto query, so you can just collect data which table of your system execute the longest query, and should be probably checked because maybe you have some missing indexes or something. And also a lot of dependency already prepare this implementation for the telemetry. You have, for example, this Broadway, you have Open, and also the Tesla as a HTTP client. So when you decide to use a new dependency, let's verify it. Maybe it's already telemetry supporter, and you will have ability to track some internal events from this dependency. And from my side, is a question: is the telemetry hard to use after this whole presentation? And also, yesterday I had a discussion regarding this metrics part, and when you have some BI, I mean this business intelligence team in your company, the telemetry can be really helpful to prepare some extra tracking. And for this BI team, you can just prepare a telemetry as a execute and publish new events, and next just have one handler to, for example, send this event to external database or something, and the BI team can use it. Okay, so when you decide to check more about the telemetry, feel free to use our links from the presentation. You should be able to verify the whole presentation. A lot of knowledge is already prepared for the telemetry. It's pretty simple from my perspective, and I believe you can use it even today, maybe not, but tomorrow in your project, because it should be only some extra reporter and the telemetry itself, and you will have ability to prepare our metrics in external devices, for example, Grafana. And that was all from my side. So thank you for your attention, and thank you for this event. And from my side, it's really amazing to be here, and also to have this Elixir presentation. Maybe it was not totally regarding the Elixir code, but I believe we should, as a modern developers, we should combine our tech part and also the business part, because with this business part we can prepare an amazing solution. And that's all from my side. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Bartosz. That was a great presentation. I feel like today's two presentations we had were very informative, and we can do something with it. Install it tomorrow to make our projects better. And we have a Q&A section right now. There is a lot of thank yous in the comment sections, by the way. So once again, thank you, Bartosz. If you have any questions for Bartosz, then feel free to ask it. In the meantime, would you say that you have the favorite service when it comes to tracking these things, or not really?
Okay, so from my side, it was mostly a Datadog, to be honest. Next, I checked this this part of the app signal to have also a performance tracker and this event tracker in one place. But internally, you can use Prometheus or just Grafana, because it's mostly known in the Elixir or just the Beam world. So from my side, any good solution can be used, and it should be okay, and the telemetry itself will work with it.
All right. Okay,
so we have this question regarding this recording. I believe yes. Also, you can just verify the YouTube channel from the Curiosum. You have amazing resources regarding the Elixir world. You have also last events from this Elixir Meetup, and also some extra presentation and extra videos. So feel free to verify a YouTube channel. Okay, so we have a question. Do you know some real life examples? Can you tell? Okay, some real examples. Normally, almost all already big companies use this. Maybe not exactly the Elixir, but the metrics, and also, for example, a WhatsApp use. I'm not sure about now, but they started with the Elixir and the Erlang, and the Telemetry was one of the supported project for this this company, and they decide to prepare also implementation on their own side to verify all in this big emergency room. This part when you have some developers in one room to eliminate really complicated problems. So this is mostly real examples, and also I have some from my clients, but it's not easy to say because it's also a contract. So normally it should help you. For example, when you have some big application for delivering goods between some two parts, you can just track where exactly your drivers are in the real time, and also verify, for example, a response from your clients. I mean, this score after delivering, and also some extra action, for example, how your driver execute action. So it was okay, it was a safe route, or just it was some action without any permission, without normal good work. So it can be help you to verify the whole application. Okay, so how it helps find. Okay, so these problems are mostly because when you have some metrics and you have a new release, for example, you decide to change a registration flow or something similar, you can verify easily the impact on the metrics. For example, normally you have one new user, but after changes you have a 10. So it can be also a huge improve in this whole process, but maybe also you introduce some bots. So this new value can be used as some tracker for you to verify your impact on the whole system. Okay, so we have this question also. It is must or just best practices to create multiple events for different services or module like Elasticsearch and Ecto queries. When you have an event, you can just prepare one event per each data inside. I mean, this we had an example with the duration, for example. In the telemetry, you can just eliminate a problem with storing this data. So you have a pretty simple map instead of just tracking a thousand of fields in one event. You can have a lot of events, and your handlers will focus only on the separated. And also from the telemetry should be easier to have multiple subscribers instead of just one big event with a lot of tags tags to prepare some metrics. So technically, I believe it's best practices, because you can just prepare a one event, but normally the dependency trying to have this as a contexted. So you have, for example, Ecto as a first part, next you have some extra part regarding the query, and for example, you have a time or something, and you can just use it. And the good example is Phoenix framework and the Phoenix logger, when you have a lot of events for each part of the application. So it's one event you have for the at least one event you have for the socket. You have also separated event for the channel, and based on it, you can just track what exactly you want to track. Thanks for answer. Okay, so thank you also for this question. Also for this, so I believe all should be recorded, and you'll be able to verify it soon.